Hello guys, hope everyone's doing alright. Yeah, so what do I call it? I've already lost my words. We've got our render here in Nuke, obviously without the shaders on the character to make it a little bit quicker. I do have a preview render in Katana. This is more just to kind of chat over the plan for today. Gotta be honest, I am really starting to burn out in the project, so I'm trying to figure out what things can I do to get the most out of the least time. Just so that if I do decide to put the project down, even if it is temporary, at least we have something presentable at the end of it. So currently, this is the raw render without any comp, and that's what we're doing in comp. We do naturally have a version where the background is in focus and the foreground is out of focus. Both are interesting to me, so we're going to have a play about with that, obviously later on when we start getting clean renders. I will have to do some very long renders. The last stream of this project will be a comp stream, because I'll have to render overnight, the night before, to get both the frames really clean, because I'll need to render this guy on his own, the environment on its own, and possibly a version of the environment without him being shaded, or without him present, so we can avoid the bounce light. On that topic, if we go to Katana, so this is what we have when we don't have the materials on him. So if you take a note of the environment, in particular the mask, when we add shaders onto this guy, because it's whiter, we get a lot more bounce, which kind of looks okay, but also kind of kills the vibe that I'm going for a little bit. So I might reduce his brightness a little bit, or just hide him completely and render past the environment without it, just so I can kind of, rotor out the mirror and have the darker version of the environment. So like, this basically outside that frame would be this version, inside would be this version. So yeah, we'll have a playback with that sort of stuff. For today though, I want to get some curtains in here. I'm going to remove the webs because they're not really visible enough anyway. It's something not really worth keeping. I can possibly remake them at a later date to kind of actually do it properly rather than the procedural half-arse thing that I'm doing currently. But yeah, so we'll get these little curtains in here, just kind of have like a pole going above frame. Obviously won't need to shade that. Or just throw a gold shader on it, and then just get some basic curtains kind of drooping down, just to kind of naturally vignette the corners, I guess, would be the way to think of that. So we're doing that with some cloth simulation and Maya, and we'll see what we can get. It's been a while since I did any cloth sim, so we'll see how well that goes. But yeah, so other than that, I have also looked at some brushes. So I kind of like the look of this makeup brush for the kind of set dressing, but I still need to figure out where the hell does any prop work go, because the shelf isn't in view at all, and I don't really want it to be in view because it will get a bit too distracting. So really, for me to add this stuff, I'd have to lean it against the candle or put some kind of case for stuff to be stood up in. But then again, it starts to feel a little bit kind of tight, so we'll have a think about that one. How might find nice to finally catch one of your streams live. I had a question. Did you create any ID passes for the background? I haven't created any ID passes, and yeah, welcome to the stream, man. I haven't created any ID passes. It's something I haven't yet done in Arnold, so I need to learn how to do that. So if you was going to ask like how to do that, I don't know. But we will probably create some ID passes. But granted, we're not doing any camera movement in render, so I can just rotor whatever I need. Makes life a little bit easier. But probably we'll do like a crypto mat or something at some point, since crypto mat can be set up out the box supposedly. But right, so I'm just going to start getting some curtains in there. We'll see how that goes. So first thing, let's get a pole. So let's just grab a cube. I always start with cubes. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Come on. Smooth. Cool. And let's go with, in fact I don't need that many. There we go. Then deform and sculpt. I need to create a preset out of this to do it so often. Cool. Delete half of it. Cool. And then let's set scale in the X to 0. Modify 3 transformations. Oh, and let's, well, I guess we'll keep that guy for now. I feel like we need the lights to be visible. Are they actually in the scene? I think it would be a mirror group, right? Or did I remove them from the scene? Yeah, I removed them. Okay. So we're just going to have to guess the placement. I think stuff like that will do fine. Extrude all the way over. So obviously we'll have to fix the normals on that. Display, reverse. Well, that's going to be an issue. Okay. Let's scale that out a little bit more. Modify 3 transformations. Insert edge loop. I always lose it. There we go. Cool. Cool, so that's going to be our pole for now. Let's put that into, we're going to need curtain B, aren't we? Okay, where is it? Ah, there it is. Okay, so curtain B. Okay, so let's get some planes up here. Move it slightly off the center, and we're going to need to, for now, to set this to 0. Something like that, and we'll pull it all over to like here. Although I possibly want it to be pulled off screen, right? Like back here somewhere. Which means this guy needs to be scaled. So modify, oh no. Oh, it is center pivot, yeah. Cool. Let's bunk that out there. Those faces just getting a little bit too stretched for my taste. They're still pretty stretched. Like 3 times wider than they are tall, but at least it's not 6 times. Cool. So we get that guy. And the length of the curtain doesn't make much sense, so let's drag it down just a tiny, tiny bit. Stuff like that, and we'll just keep it over this side. Okay, so multi-cut. Right, let's just use insert edge loop. Or we can just smooth it. In fact, yeah, smoothing it is better. Okay, we'll keep that smooth face alive. Sim quality. But I need to set that back to 0 for a moment. Delete the history on it. There we go. B01 geo. Modify 3 transformations. Now apply the smooth. So that's a 5. Also, let's say thank you for your knowledge in XShan. I purchased your tutorial for XShan. Been thrilled to use. It's been a thrill to use. I've also figured out a technique to add XShan to your rig based on your blog. Oh, that's cool, man. I'm glad you like it. Okay. So. Oh, that's a good point, actually. We can't change this. So let's just select the edges. Let's get everything set up first. So I'm going to want to go to Effects, then Enclave, create Enclave, and then let's just select all these, Enclave. Oh, it's in Constraint, right? In Constraint. I think it's Component that we need. Don't remember how you lock them in the world. And now we can just select that guy and do constraint to surface. There we go. Cool. So we're going to need a passive collider in the form of this guy. So the way I'm going to do this is scale that way up, do that with it. In fact, smooth that a ton of times. Cool. And let's create a passive collider, Enclave, passive collider. Then create a passive collider out of this guy, Enclave, passive collider. Cool. So get the first frame, modify free transformations, first frame, and then like let's go with 1001, and then that goes to 1100. That's fine. Let's say by frame 48 that this guy should be all the way over here. Let's just see what our default settings do. Okay. So this should be able to pull further, shouldn't it? Let's just also set the max frames to be like 1400. Let's just see how that settles. Oh. Why is that not? Oh, because I need to set the start frame. Trying to remember where you do that. It's been a while. Nucleus. There we go. Okay, so we definitely don't want that. We also need to change the preset. So let's just go in enclave shape presets. Let's go with silk to see how that sims. Yeah, it's definitely not what we want. Weird how it's bulging like that. I guess let's try something. D. So that's okay, and then by frame 50, I think it was. Scale it down to about there for now. Oh. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Hell's going on with this history? Have you or would you ever use Marvelous Designer? Yeah, so I do quite like Marvelous Designer. I'm just trying to do it in Maya. Well, it's giving me some real pain right now for some reason. Let's delete the history on that. See, deleting history is not doing anything. Delete all that stuff. Delete this hair system too, I don't know why that's still there. Let's delete those as well. Cool. So this is now a static mesh, right? Yep, cool. So let's start by shrinking this down. Hello? Something is acting so weird about this. Okay, let's delete it entirely. Okay, let's go plane. If I can't get this to work, I'll just crack open Marvelous Designer. Been a while since I used that one too, though. Okay, so why are you still out here? I swear it's the cache playback. How do I turn it off? Oh, it's not even cached. What the hell? Why is that not playing? Modify freeze transformations. Okay, so let's try again. Scale it up. Just move that over there. Okay. So what do we want then? I guess technically we should lock these to different locators, right? Let's go smooth. Go one higher. There we go. Modify freeze transformations. Let's create some locators. Order some little cubes. In fact, yeah, let's go with little cubes. A bit more visual that way. So we'll create 3 for now. Let's put you there. Put you over there, and put you over there. So on this guy, we're going to create a enclave, which we're going to give the silk preset. Cool. Could even change the other presets. So we'll select these guys and connect them to that. And constraint, point to surface. Cool. Then we'll select these guys, connect them to him, and then constraint, point to surface. And finally we'll grab these guys and constraint, point to surface. So let's see if that works to begin with. And we'll also grab the nucleus and give that a start frame of 1001. Okay, that's good. Okay, so then let's go passive collider on this guy and just see what happens. Okay, so it's acting a bit more predictably. So this is only a test for now. So we want to lock your location. We want to lock in your location. We want to lock in your location. So these, all three of these now have animation. Cool. So let's go to frame, let's say 40. I want to move you over here. Let's grab this guy. Move you over there by frame 40. So that doesn't actually go far enough anymore. And that's arguably going too far by frame 40, so let's pull that back to about here. And on frame 48, you need to be closer to like here. Cool. Let's grab background and cloth passive collider. Okay, let's try a different preset. Silk isn't really giving me what I want. Let's go with t-shirt. T-shirt's normally quite soft. It's weird how much resistance this is giving. I need to learn more about simulation. Okay, let's try pushing you further. Let's go like there. I can just move the entire shape over if I want to later. Oh, okay. Bit too much. Let's go increase the substeps on this guy. Okay, let's go with 10. Wonder what it is that's causing that. Okay, so it's not that. Oh. Yeah, I definitely need to learn more about simulation. I still don't understand why this isn't lying flat. Definitely need to triangulate the mesh as well. Okay, let's try something. Let's delete the history on this guy. or duplicate them, I guess. It's going to work a bit better. Okay, got this guy. Let's go to Windows, Node Editor. Cool. It's going to scale it down. Okay. Okay, let's go with got all of them. Try again, insert edge loop. Let's go a bit higher, let's go 42. Nope. Cool. And then for this guy, let's go... Let's go 32, but then before I do that, I'm going to split it in half. There we go. Bit better. That's fairly close to square. It's not perfect, but it's close. Okay, so we got that. So enclave, create enclave. Cool. And then let's try grabbing one vertex before attaching it. And constraint, point to surface. Come on. Cool. And constraint, point to surface. Constraint, point to surface. Okay, let's try. Oh, didn't connect that last one. And constraint, point to surface. There we go. So I guess that was part of the reason. So now I guess we can go in and tweak. Love it when that happens. There we go. Let's increase that bend resistance a little bit. So why is that? Why have I set bend resistance to 0? Okay, interesting. So let's go a bit further. I'm also going to increase stretch resistance quite a lot. Let's go to like 40. Okay, almost there. So let's try some presets. Let's start with silk. There's no way that's the way that silk would move. What's my scale set to? Nucleus. Scale attributes. Let's try setting it to 10. Okay, so that got worse. So let's try setting it to 0.1. Okay, so that's looking better. So the next thing to address is these awful spikes towards these things, which I know for a fact is caused by... If I can delete these quickly, because I don't know where all those are coming from. I know that it's coming from the fact that when you connect things up, usually it's a hoop that's like somewhere within. So I guess this one would be good. So let's try that. Let's go this guy to you. Cool. Constraint, point to surface. Cool. Then do the same with you. Go 2 points below. Constraint, point to surface. And then same with you. Point to surface. Okay, let's try that, see how different that looks. So we're getting much more kind of natural drapery now. It's not perfect. And this still feels really weird to me. But it's considerably better. Okay, so we're going to change the presets. Let's go to t-shirt, try that out. I'm going to go into show selection highlighting. I'm also going to quickly assign a blend to this. Assign new material. Let's go with blend. It's a little bit easier to look at. Okay, so let's try for presets. I always forget what chiffon is. straight through. Okay, so I'm guessing that's pretty tight. Heavy denim, probably wrong, but let's give it a go. Yeah, it's resisting way too much. Something I might do is add a small amount of wind. Chainmail. Out of curiosity, let's see what that does. Okay. The passive collider on this guy. Let's thicken him up a little bit. Okay, and let's do the same with this guy actually. So there's a collision. There we go. Full surface is probably going to be a lot heavier. I'm also going to alt save this guy. Okay, let's go back to that. I'm going to put... Oh, loose thick neck could look cool. That's considerably slower. I'm going to change the collision type, just because that's a little bit too intense. Let's go to vertex edge. Makes it a little bit easier for it to track, but it's still a little bit better than just vertex collision. This is going to be a little bit less prone to the stuff we were getting earlier. So is there a way to kind of add a soft radius to these? Spring, should probably change that. But is there a motion drag? Let's see what this does. Oh, no, that's not what we want. Local collide. Let's give that a go. Pretty ugly. Okay, yeah, so let's get rid of that. So we're just going to have to customize that material ourselves. So let's, I think t-shirt was the closest to what we want. Probably need a little bit more bend resistance and a fair bit more stretch resistance. Or maybe not the bend resistance, come to think of it. Can I increase friction on this guy? I can. Let's see what increasing the friction on this guy does. fact, come to think of it, the animation I've done is completely wrong there, isn't it? Because that's not how you tie these things to the wall. I need this thing to come from lower, like down here. And I need it to be angled. Come on. I also need it to be angled slightly. At the end as well. So that will give it more at the top. Yeah, there we go. We're getting a bit more of that drape now. Less of a straight line. Still too much of a straight line. Well, it's less intense now. Okay, let's try even more extreme. So let's get the last position of this. Move it back just a tiny, tiny bit. And do that. And then to start you from even lower. Let's give that a go. Maybe we should even impact lower still. Come on. Go halfway. I'll make you to like the... Looking a bit better. I feel like I need to update the this guy. And this still isn't feeling right to me. How much is it catching? Yeah, it needs a little bit more friction, I think. And I think that last frame needs to be, again, lower. Something like that. And this coming in from even lower. So just scoop more of it up. Oh, that's not healthy. Yeah, so it's straightening out. So you need a bit more friction on this guy. Let's increase that 3 times. And that will help it like not slide past as much. I might have to increase it even further, we'll see. Now that's working better, got more of a slope to it now. Still feel like this side needs to droop more. Let's increase that friction just a tiny bit more. In fact, I say a tiny bit, let's double it again. That's looking a lot more promising. Okay, would it be absolutely criminal for me to add another one from the other side? First, get this guy, move him over here, and do the exact same shit. So let's go with enclave, create passive collider. Oh, wait. Modify free transformations. Enclave, create passive collider. Then by like this frame, have you be okay. Have him be like there to like help pull the other side in. Let's just see what that does. Okay, need to fix the angle of that a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to duplicate this guy there. Okay, so we got him stored. Let's go to that last frame. This will give us a different result. Give it a moment to do its thing. Okay, duplicate you, move you over here. Let's invert the scale of this guy. Okay. Modify free transformations. Let's give them both a thickness. Go to that extrusion, add a division. Okay, so let's get you positioned over here. Let's get you positioned over here for now. I'll grab, let's go hide the mirror, hide the glass cracks. I don't need to do that. Okay, so let's get this invisible again. Yeah, there's peaks in the top there. That's kind of a nice shape. And I guess this one. So I quite like that silhouette, but then it's intersecting the mask. So I'm gonna have to kind of go in, really fuck with this a little bit. Okay, let's change the mode of this to global, or volume even. Okay, so we've got these two. Probably should have pulled them backwards a little bit. But we'll do a test render with these. So let's grab that, throw it into here. Pole geo. We're gonna do screen right. Yeah, let's do screen right. Cool. So we got our scene. Save that. Let's go Alembic cache, export selection to Alembic. Prop. Prop curtain B. And this will be prop curtain B. Publish. There we go. Let's quickly throw that into Katana, see how it responds. So we're going to have to duplicate. Where's our curtain? Okay, let's grab this, throw it over here. Definitely need to find a way to compress this down in a way that's nice. Okay, add an alembic. Okay, grab you. Take that. Curtain B. And then we're just going to update this. Curtain B. Update the cell. As our scene graph. Scene graph is up here. Okay. In theory, that should work. Save our scene. Then we need to figure out how we're going to colour the thing. Obviously, we don't have any UVs, so things are going to look a little bit funky. But it's nothing too major, honestly. Out of focus. Why does it look out of focus? Let's go into that. Let's massively simplify the material. Okay, let's give that a test render. Okay, we need to freeze transformations on these guys. Modify, freeze transformations. You're fine. Let's check our normals. Oh wait, it's set to not be visible, of course. Let's go into this. Okay, why is that being overridden? Okay, we need to update that. So scene graph, we just need to be more precise with it. So we need to go into environment, then anything under curtain underscore group called curtain. That should work. There we go. Yep, there we go, it's working. So what colours do we want to use? Might grab the shader. Let's see what our UVs are doing, because obviously it's default. There's nothing fancy going on here. Okay, that's actually fine. Cool. It's not perfect, but it's okay. Like, nothing wrong with it. They definitely look a bit funky. Like, it should definitely be longer for it to work correctly. At least the length of the mirror. But then that requires going quite far back. I'm not fond of the idea of doing that. Okay, let's first off, let's go grab the material from this guy, because we can definitely use that. Okay, on surface, and we need the displacement from you. Cool. And then we don't need the ray switch, which is like all of this stuff. So let's just grab you and plug you direct into that, and that, which makes you useless, which makes these useless. So this is controlling our color. I'll let that load for a bit. Let's give that a test render. Cool. Let's check the diffuse albedo. Okay, so what kind of material do we want to go for? Okay, I know for a fact that we do have to cover that bit up, because on my screen I'm covering that up and it looks a lot better. Like if I just basically cut out that. So let's get the blue color. HSV, let's go with like there. And we'll have to make it considerably darker. We'll go for more of a sateen. Could even reuse the hat material, as in the one that is just satin. Should probably also plug that color into the sheen. So I'm going to get rid of that anti-tropy rotation. Turn that off. IOR, set that back to something more reasonable. Roughness will likely need to increase, but let's just give that a quick test render. What happens if I disconnect this? Okay, so let's test render that in camera, and then we'll quickly add in the other kind of views. Oh, sorry, not views. The little kind of holder things that pulled it to the side. We'll just model something in. Nothing too fancy, just basic. Okay. Works well enough. You just get something more happening without much work. Which is my favorite kind of something more. Although maybe this one's a bit too close. Maybe it should be pushed back a little bit. So this one's got some visible distance from there. I'll leave that to render in the background. Let's just drag this guy over a tiny bit. Something like that should do. And then we're going to need to go into this guy, grab the cube. Okay. So you're just going to use this as a reference. Although I could technically just do that. That still works. But I don't want to do that. It's a bit too simplistic. So let's delete from like here back. Okay, grab these guys. And without doing much, I want to scale these up. Or down, sorry. Something like that. Scale them towards each other. Again, not that much though. Something like that gets the general idea across. Let's try to preserve some amount of volume. So let's do a very slight thing like that. Okay. Never mind. Pull this out. The edge flow. Just do something really basic down here. Again, this stuff is off screen, so I'm not too worried about how precisely it works. Let's just get that pulled in. Stuff like that. Cool, got that. Duplicate, move to the other side, mirror it. Modify, free transformations. Okay, those will do for now. So let's grab those, put them in here. So that is L. God, what would be the word for this? Let's call it constraint. Rename it later, hopefully. Cool. Modify, free transformations. Cool, that'll do for now, just to make it feel a little bit more decent. Cache, Alembic, export selection to Alembic. Just go into curtain B. So let's go into util, flush caches. Nope. Util, flush caches. Cool. And what we can do. Okay, that is good. Let's grab. Come on. What the hell is going on? That is not the same geometry. Oh, bastard. Okay, let's go into that Windows node editor. So it's still got that, yeah, it's still got that geometry stored in there somewhere. Don't know why I just deleted. Guess I'll find out later. There we go. Same for this guy, I'm guessing. Come on. This is looking funky now. Okay. So now that's fixed. We can just quickly go in and do what I wanted to do. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Go do the same on the other side. In fact, we'll leave him. Let's go delete this guy. Bevel edge. 2. Just gives the light a little bit of something to play with. Cool, there we go. Let's get it re-exported. Util, flush caches. Cache, Alembic, export selection to Alembic. There we go. Okay, let's try from the test cam to see how it looks from a broad angle. Yeah, it's working better. So we just need to throw a quick gold material on that. Let's just update this. Let's go. Okay, and we're just going to go into there. So create a surface. That's weird. For now, we'll just do something really basic. In fact, I think we have. Yeah, we literally have that gold material right there. Let's go get that value. So that's on the mirror. Prop mirror. We need frame material. Do we have a gold in here? We do. Although that looks like it's the wrong thing. There we go. That's better. Not what I meant to click on. There we go. So we got that color. Let's go back out here. Okay, base color all the way down for now. Throw that in there. IOR, let's go 2.4 as I know it's not the actual IOR of gold, but it's close enough to visually what I want anyway. And let's go like 0.4. Curtain, pole, gold. Okay, kill that, scene graph. Search for anything with the word pull. Cool, got that. Let's go back into the correct camera. And actually let's connect up the displacement. Need to check what my other curtain in the scene is doing, UV wise. Because it's a Marvel's Designer mesh. Okay, so that is roughly the same amount of UV space. Well, not too far off, but like less than a quarter the size. So we're going to massively increase the size of the tiling. Or tile it more even. So let's go to this guy. Coordinates. This is going to need to go like 300. Diffuse is doing a lot of the work on this guy. So, prop about this big could be good. See, I do really like this thing, but it would feel out of place, I feel, in this scene. It's also a lot of work. Like metal, wood, glass, or mirror, cloth, definitely glass. More wood, more metal, 2 objects inside it. Although I feel like my next project should be a like proper object study. So no character work, just because I'm definitely a character guy, like in terms of the skill set. So it'd be good to try to do some hard surface stuff. Even if it is just like one thing like this. It could be quite a lot of fun. I try to do something old and worn, like maybe go to a charity shop in Montreal, find an object and just properly make something. Go through the full process. Rather than, like, this sort of project, what often happens is I'll do the character properly, but then the environment goes through like weird, not real pipeline steps where I don't properly texture most stuff. I kind of bodge stuff together to get it to work. Weird. What even is that? Oh, that's the crease noise, isn't it? Which is memory folds. Put that into UV. Let that go for a little bit longer. Too low res now. It needs more tiling. Also needs to be less strong. Like a fair bit less strong. So let's go memory folds. So let's go 4, 4, 4. And this guy will just decrease the strength for them. 0.125 and let's go 0.1. And then we'll increase the sheen a little bit because it seems a little bit too subtle at the moment for my tastes. Yeah, we'll increase that. Let's just see how it looks for now. Just check something quickly. No, that's fine. Something I want to do but would make absolutely zero sense in real world would be to have a spider web go between these candles and that mask, because I feel like that kind of curve there could be really cool. It'd also be quite a natural way to kind of add some more physical vignetting. So it's something I quite like to add in my scenes when I can, or at least when I think of it, is like to add some kind of physical thing that pulls you away from the corners, or like kind of blocks out the corners, I guess. If I added that, and like one prop here, something here, that would feel quite complete to me. And it's just a case of like comping it and getting the image balanced with his actual lighting going. There's already quite a lot of work has gone into the scene around him. And I do still kind of want to work on him. Like, I never really got around to doing the skin properly, so he's not got any like XYZ maps or anything like that. The shaders around him are quite developed at this point, but I don't know. His model still doesn't feel quite right to me. I also never groomed the eyelashes on this other eye, which can be argued isn't actually worth doing yet. just because it's so out of focus on this. There's 4 people watching right now, so that's 4 possible opinions. If you guys are happy to kind of say what you think the scene needs, by all means put suggestions. If it requires a lot of work, I would probably say no, just because I've been working on this project for so long now, but if it's a really good idea, maybe it's worth the extra time. Because I hear some opinions. I'm just having a bit of a big think. This is still feeling far too vertical as well. Yeah, it just needs a little bit of something. Kind of want to hide something in the eye of this guy. Maybe that little mouse that I spent loads of time on for 0 reason. Just get his sculpt and just hide it in there. So it'd only be like visible in a normal pass or some shit. Because everything's visible in normal pass. Let's have a quick look at some stuff. Let's search spiderwebs. Spiderwebs antiques. Let's see what comes up. Spiderwebs on antiques. Okay, so that's just giving me loads of spiderweb designs. Okay. Spiderwebs. Old house. I just really want to do something along these lines, but it kind of doesn't make sense at the same time. I'm really torn on this. It just looks so, like, spiderwebs are such an amazing thing. Like, they look so cool. I could even comp them in. That's another option. I wonder how long it would take to groom a spiderweb. Let me just search spiderweb generator. Spiderweb generator. There's one for Blender. There's always one for Blender. That's quite good though. I remember seeing one just like this for Maya like years ago. That looks great though. Some of the blenders, some of the add-ons that people develop for Blender really are beautiful. Let me see. Spiderweb generator. Jesus. Only just noticed how to spell generator. It's actually 2D animation, that's amazing. It's quite geometrically basic, like it doesn't look like it's doing any kind of hanging. But then you could just do an N-hair sim on that. Cobweb. Yeah, this is the one I was thinking of from a while ago. Does he ever render it? Same tool. Yeah, I'll have to figure that out. It could look so cool if done right. Actually, yes, geometry isn't that. Oh, that would explain everything. I thought I was smoothing it, but apparently not. So while that goes, let's go open critter. I'm going to create a snipping tool. Oh, fuck off critter. There we go. Okay. Just need to go whack them. Okay. Is this nice new file? Create from clipboard. As on as web, nice. Right, okay, so what I have in my head is just go with a white. Something like that. Which would kind of necessitate adding stuff in here. I feel like something like that could work really well. Like, it just makes it feel older. Let's try a new paint layer to get some kind of sub layers to this. those. No need. Okay, so maybe there's a way for me to render curves directly. So if I load in NURBS curve, I could probably make something out of that. I could technically do it as a card, but yeah. But then what am I attaching them to? Because you can't attach them to a fucking lit candle. Well, that makes zero sense. As much as it could look cool. And if I attach them to the thing behind it, it's going to be a lot more short-lived. So if I grab both of these and put them into the layer, so let's group these, quick group, and assign a transparency mask, and just paint out temporarily. Oh shit. Okay, so paint on you. There we go. Like, I guess that could work. And that at least makes some sense. And technically I could do that with Grim. It would just be gross. Yeah, we could do that. Alright. So that's one thing out of the way. So, what about whatever's above it? So I kind of want something here, right? Question is what? So the makeup brush thing could be one. But then I need something to hold it up in frame, ideally. Maybe a little box. That line, it doesn't make any sense. Then if I would need something, if not two things, to work, like a comb. Okay. Okay, so that kind of works. So I can get a little brush in there, which will require a little bit of work, but nothing too major. The web's a little more of a technical challenge. Like, I don't know at the moment how to render curves in Katana. That's looking better. kill off nuke.
Okay, let's quickly check out curve. Okay, what can I think of? Nerves? Nope. So we already know curve doesn't bring anything. Nope. I'm gonna try something. Okay. Let's create a where is it? I know I can convert a curve into geometry, but I kind of want to avoid that. Where the fuck did that just go? Okay, make this as a live object. Okay, create curve tools, CV curve. Modify, center pivot. Oh yeah, need to go to that. For now, just do that. Okay, that'll do. Curve test group. Okay. Cache, Alembic, export selection to Alembic. Cool. Let's just save it to desktop for now. Curve test. Alembic in. Browse. Home. Desktop. Curve test. Scene graph. Okay, so they show up. But then how do we get Arnold to... So Arnold... Oh, curve width set. Why didn't that show up when I tapped curve? Okay. Let's create a hair... Of course. Network material create. Merge. Don't know what I just made there. Gonna create a new one. NMC. Okay. Then material assign. Okay. Material assign is going to, well, let's create this first. Web curve mat
hair with 0 melanin, and material assign should be set to cool. Select these, check its attributes. Cool, that's working in theory. Okay, save my scene. If this works, then my next stream is literally just going to be building a web curve by curve, unless I buy a tool to do it. Which I could do. They're probably not that expensive. Okay. I need to assign that. So let's just go curve test. Custom. And then search for anything with curve shape. Okay, then select one of these, check its attributes. Okay. It's not getting pruned out at any point, is it? Let's go down to here. Do they still exist? They do, okay. That's been changed. Arnold. This in pixels or? I'll wait for that. let's give this a search. Arnold curve width. Okay, so we want to go to Katana. Go to shapes. Okay, can I search for... I'll see if I can find anything on that. Either way, I think for now, that's me done. Nothing for this stream, because I need to read up on some stuff. But yeah, but this is looking promising, as well as this. I need to figure out exactly what the box is, but I like the general feel of this. So I'm going to save that out. But yeah, so that'll be it for this stream. I know it's been a relatively short one, but I'll figure out how to get curves rendering. If I can't, then I've got two options. I can convert them to geometry, or I can do it as a Yeti node, which would be fine. I mean, you can just load in curves and put it into Yeti directly and make it easy to use. But for now, we'll kind of leave it there, see where it goes. And yeah, I'll stream again probably Thursday night. So in 2 days, around the same time as today, so 8 PM EST or 7:30 EST. And yeah, we should hopefully be able to get the webs working in that one. But I'm quite fond of this, how this looks. So we'll try to mimic this. Anyway, right. Have a good night, guys.